Phew! What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. It is Sunday night. We got Monday night, which of course we have our live stream at 9 o'clock Eastern. I hope you tune in. That's our last live stream before the draft. Wednesday night, little old Philly cream cheese wants to do a live stream together. He's like, I gotta get you on my channel before the draft. It's like, okay, I'm trying to figure out what he's got planned on that, but okay. So Wednesday night we'll be doing a live stream the night before the draft. 'Twas the night before the draft, and all through the house, all the football fans were thinking they were gonna be, I don't know, getting a guy as big as a house. I got to work on that. But anyway, we'll be doing that on Wednesday night. And then Thursday night, we'll have, I know David Wiley is planning on doing a bunch of cooking. Don't know what he's got on the menu. I need to talk to him. I think E2 Blue will be here. Daniel will be here. And I think that's actually going to be it. We'll have DMV is actually going to be at the draft, so we'll be having him call in, and we'll be doing the Zoom in call because you guys are part of the show. If you've seen our Sunday event show, well, we're going to be doing the same thing where we'll have you guys up in here as the studio audience and giving us your feelings on the guys that we are drafting and so on. We'll have the Philly 500, little old Philly 500 meltdown cam because, well, we like to see Philly 500 melting down. And we'll have the Rio cam. Rio, I think, I don't know if he might not be live. He might not be live because he's going to be at FedEx Field at their draft party. So I don't know if he'll be broadcasting from there or not, if they'll actually be able to get a signal out or not. But we'll see. If he is, we will definitely get his reaction there. I would say we would get Cop Pizzle, but Pizzle, he's being a little bitch, and he's not going to be live streaming. So we're going to have draft coverage all 3 days of exactly what the Dallas Cowboys have done, are going to do if they trade, don't trade, if they draft. We'll be covering it all 3 days. So I'm going to probably go to bed early tonight and try and get some extra sleep where I can. I got to go down the country Tuesday, see if we can get that floor completely up and rebuilt so we can get that home together for some people to move in. Whew, that's a lot. It's going to be a busy week. Oh, and I've got work to do in the workshop as well. In fact, I got a truckload of lumber being delivered tomorrow morning. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, the neighbor's backyard is lit up like a Christmas tree over there. Okay, all right, that's cool. Anyway, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be a nosy neighbor. I tell you what, a crazy thing happened. Real estate has been so crazy. So crazy. How crazy has it been? In the Washington, D.C. area, basically, if you don't have cash and ready to do a cash deal, you can pretty much forget about getting it. I think they said in Washington, D.C., that 75% of the real estate sales are done by cash. Now, I don't know who's got this kind of cash to be able to do a cash deal to buy a house, but it's freaking insane. It is so crazy that a house in Fairfax, Virginia, listen to this, this is crazy. This house that was built in 1964 sold for over $800,000, cash deal in 5 days, with people living in the basement. When I say people living in the basement, the house had an elderly man who owned it. 3 years ago, a woman helped clean up the house. The elderly man said, since you've been so great, helpful and everything else, you can live in the basement. She doesn't pay rent. She doesn't have a lease. She's been living in the basement with her daughter, which they say is a good-sized basement, okay, that has a separate bathroom and a lot of square footage, has a separate entranceway, has a backyard and stuff. Her and her daughter are living in the house. And they sold the house with them in there, acknowledging when you purchase this house, there's people living in there. Now, the kids said that they were trying to sell the house because the father was in financial distress and didn't have the money to try and evict the person living in the basement. That was the craziest thing I've heard. They sold a house with people living in the basement. Honey, our renovation budget, you know how some people have mice or ants in the house? Well, we got a person living down there. Actually, a person and her daughter. It's crazy. The real estate market is crazy. I'm hoping that this isn't going to be one of those cases like the housing crash in 2008 where the prices just went up so crazy and all that, and then all of a sudden it crashed. I hope and pray it doesn't crash. But this stuff is just getting to be ridiculous. I mean, hell, you could sell a house with any problems. It's selling it in 5 days. Why? You don't even worry about fixing it. There's a lot of people that are being ripped off. It's kind of like being a Dallas Cowboy fan. You know, we've been kind of ripped off for years here by Jerry and Stephen Jones. They keep telling us, excuse me, they keep telling us that, you know, everything is fine. Everything is good, you know. At least this week, it'll be finally the positive change for the team. Because as we've watched all these teams go through and, you know, get their free agents and stuff, and, you know, listening to the pundits out there that say, oh my God, this team has gotten good. Oh my God, this team has gotten good. You added this player, that player, and so on. But then I started thinking about, say, the Giants. The Giants who are taking their number one draft pick from last year, right? Tony, and they're trying to trade him. Now, they're not going to get a top 10 pick in return for him. It'll probably at best be a day 2 pick, if not a day 3 pick. The thing that's crazy about it, he had 420 yards. So I was like, was he injured? What was there? Looking at this, he had 39 receptions for 420 yards, right? You say, boy, that wasn't really good. But that was second on the team. The thing that's crazy is we looked at the Giants and they said, oh my God, the Giants offense, we got Jason Garrett there. You know, Jason Garrett is going to be able to get the most out of Daniel Jones. Barkley's coming back healthy. Barkley played in 13 games last year, but had 560 yards. They ended up getting guys like Kyle Rudolph. And I remember people saying, man, we should have gotten, oh man, go get Kyle Rudolph. Kyle Rudolph had less than 200 yards. And they got Galladay. What? Why did we get a wide receiver? Oh, I'm sorry. That was a draft. But they got Galladay. Galladay didn't really bust a grape. So you looked at that, and people said the Giants. In fact, I need to go ahead and look up the the pre-draft rankings of free agency grades, because people looked at it and said, oh man, the Giants really upgraded their offense. They got Kyle Rudolph. They got Galladay. They ended up drafting Tony. Now we got all kinds of weapons. You got, of course, Barkley coming back. Oh man, you know, people were scared. Yet they were 4-12 team. Perception versus reality. Then this evening I saw they posted, because this one almost made me laugh. Somewhere they had posted this on, I think somebody had it on Instagram. Deshaun Watson's 2020 statistics. 4,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, right? And you looked at that and said, wow, that was a great year. I'm curious about this because in 2020, they were 4-12. They were 4-12. They got beat badly a lot of times. So I'm curious where the empty calories and the garbage time yards come in with Deshaun Watson. Because I didn't see anybody. Everybody keeps talking about, oh man, Deshaun Watson. Man, that guy, he's a baller. But they were 4-12. So when the Cowboys, weren't doing great with Dak, right? We're 12-4, winning games, and they said Dak Prescott's trash, so we need to get rid of him. Deshaun Watson, they're praising him for 4,800 yards, 33 TDs, 7 interceptions, and a 70% completion percentage, but they're 4-12, and he gets praised? I'm not saying that it wasn't a good season, because it was. Dak had 4,400 yards, 37 TDs, 68% completion percentage, 10 interceptions. And I know the Dak Prescott haters, here we go. Everything circles back to Dak. It circles back to Dak because I'm trying to point out to you, jackasses, the difference. Because you keep believing, oh man, Dak Prescott, he's the worst quarterback in the NFL. And where we literally, if the Cowboys don't win, it's Dak Prescott's fault. If that is the case right there, then how come the 4-12 record for the Texans wasn't Deshaun Watson's fault? You see where I'm going there? But be that as it may, it's all good because I know the answer to this. None of this is going to change in any of you guys' mind. You're going to still believe the same thing you're going to believe, and I know I'm just wasting my breath. But at least this week, we will be drafting the new players, the next generation of Dallas Cowboys. And this is the one thing that you can look at and say the Cowboys usually get right. And that is doing the draft. We usually do pretty well. And hopefully, we'll do better in the 5th round than we have in previous years. Hopefully. But then, who knows? Who knows? Because everything's a crapshoot. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Because all of you guys, as well as you ladies, are the reason why I'm able to do this together. Because I've got my damn Ginas, my Gina Thorns, my Cam Billings and things. I got people behind the scenes like the Joseph Heatherleys and the Miss Jackies and stuff. And there's so many people that have helped this channel get to where it is that I can't thank y'all enough. And I appreciate you. And I love y'all too. And with that being said, I'm glad that the weather is beginning to warm up. It's nicer being out here. There's a little crispness in the air, but it's not where I got to wear a sweatshirt and long pants and bundle up and everything else is really huddled to the fire. It's kind of getting nice out here right now. And that's a good thing. Although it is going to be really chilly for the draft, so we'll probably do it inside. Anyway, make sure you tell somebody you love them tonight. Troy Daniels, my thoughts and prayers go to, is it your wife that lost her father? It's hard losing people next to you. And you want to be there to help, but the reality is there's nothing that you can say that's going to bring that person back. And unfortunately, we've lost way too many people the last couple of years. My thoughts and prayers are with all of y'all. God willing, I'll see you guys in the morning. If not, I love y'all.